Hello, my fabulous peeps, and happy day. This is Teacher Melanie, your financial life coach, and I'm so glad that you are here with me today. So in the previous videos, or the last couple of videos, I've shared with you just on my journey as I go through, my family and I go through this difficult season of grief and how we are just managing. And I still want to share those things because it has been an encouraging for me, and I pray that it's been encouraging for you as well. Because at the end of the day, once you understand how to be able to manage different challenges, that you can be resilient, it is truly a game changer. And also that you never really get over different, grief or a loss. But what you do, you have the ability to get through and know how to maintain the peace of mind, the strength to go through. And so today I wanted to talk about why, or really more so how, I was able to quit my 9-to-5, and how, if I didn't at that time, the effect that it would have been during this season of experiencing the loss and having to navigate so many changes so quickly. So I quit my 9-to-5, and this is 2024. So this was 4 years ago. I actually quit it. Now, I was making great money, 6 figures, right? And I enjoyed what I was doing, but one thing I did not enjoy at one point was that I was just thriving instead of surviving. I knew the routine, I knew everything that needed to get done, but I also realized that I was dying. Okay, I wasn't growing. There was no more further for me to go, and the further that was there, let me say this, was not something that I could have seen myself doing for a long period of time. The other thing too was that I wanted to be able to homeschool my children, and at the time my children were, which I cannot believe it, they were in elementary school. And so I had one that was in kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. And I always had a desire to homeschool my children while having a business, because I've always had businesses, but then I wasn't really working it full time. And so I wanted to be able to have that flexibility so I can be there for my children, not have to beg anybody if I wanted to spend time, if I wanted to go see their little activities, if we just wanted to travel, right, outside of the school calendar, that we were able to do that. And so prior to that, I would say to where I was working too, that listen, the job that we do, we're driving, we can actually be at home working on our different projects. There's not a need for us to be in an office, because a lot of times when we're in the office, okay, somebody gets there, everybody's coming, good morning, good morning, good morning, then the small chatter starts. We're having these small conversations. Next we don't actually start working until 9 o'clock, and I've been there since 8 o'clock. Then somebody comes to the desk, here's another small chatter, chat. So not every time that being in the office was always productive. Now let me say this. I know sometimes being at home for people it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. But this body needed to have that flexibility, that I could be able to work from anywhere. Okay? Anywhere. That's what I desired. So fast forward, I spoke to my husband and I shared my desire for me to work from home, and we looked in our budget of where we are, and at that particular time I couldn't do it because there was a couple of things that needed to be done. So my husband said, and he planned and said, okay, in order for that to happen, we need to have the mortgage paid off. You hear what I said? The mortgage paid off in full, and a car to be paid off in full. Everything else we can navigate. The kids won't, and the kids were also going to a private Christian school at the time as well. So that expense was going to be eliminated. But those were the two major things. That was the only thing we had, was the car payment and the mortgage. Everything else we did, was small, regular monthly bills. And so as we sat down, we looked at the plan of how we were going to do that. And at first, to be honest with you, and I was like, what's the big deal of paying off the mortgage? Everybody has a mortgage. What was the big deal? That was my thing. But then as we sat down and we looked over the budget and we had a conversation, and he was just like, well, if I'm going to be the one that's kind of working outside of the home, I want to be able to have that part off of my mind, that we can be able to continue to live our life in this season, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And let me tell you, because we worked together, we were able to pay off our mortgage. And at that time, we had about 150 something thousand left. Then on top of that, I still had my car payment, and at that time I had about $9,000 left on my car, and we paid that off. Very diligent and focused. And so with that being said, I'm sharing this with you, that no matter the amount that you may have and you're like, I want to pay off this particular debt, first thing you need to do is have a plan. If you are single, of course, sit down and look at your expenses, what's going in, what's coming out. You may need to do something extra, which I also did. I did something extra as well, which was my financial literacy and just meeting with clients. So that helped. And of course, have something saved. I talk about having the emergency fund and an investment as well. And so we had those things together, and we just used those, and we just also, anything extra came in, it went towards paying off those expenses quickly. We were very, very laser focused. And it wasn't until when I went to the bank to say, I'm here to pay off my mortgage, and they were like, oh, okay. So they're scrambling, not quite figured out. And the banker at the time, which from me felt so good, said, well, I've been at this bank for 8 years. You're the first person that has actually come in to pay off their mortgage. And I was like, oh, okay. It didn't really hit me until the following month when I'm writing out the bills and everything. And I'm like, God, we have all this money left over. What's going on? Then it dawned. We didn't have the mortgage. My gosh, hallelujah. What a heavy burden. Thank God for the resilience of my husband. It's like, no, we need to get this done. And us working together, working the plan together as well, and making that happen. And so now fast forward with the unexpected loss of my brother, having to deal with all of that and how much money we've had to spend with that, and the unexpected loss of my father 7 weeks after that. If I was still working a 9-to-5, this season would truly be even harder, because I've had to change and getting more involved and having to go back and forth with my parents' ministry and all the things that needed to be done there to continue to keep it going in the legacy. Having to adjust with my children with their school, because we actually didn't start our homeschool. Usually we start like about the ending of August, and we did not really start until the beginning of September, the second week of September, because we had that flexibility, because we were traveling back and forth as well. So it was that was really helpful. And then having to go to work, come back, still be a wife, be a mother, and all these type of things, still deal with the demands at work would have been a lot of extra stress, and it's already been a stressful season as well. Even though sometimes they would have been empathetic and sympathetic, but still the work needed to get done. And so that not having to deal with that, and then on top of that, because we had put so many things in place, and me being a financial coach, there's accounts that I've set up for myself. And what I do for my clients is making sure that we can get an income, right? Even though I wasn't meeting with too many clients, but I had investments, and I've had my assets under management that was able to pay me even with me not working, right? So I was getting a residual income. That means that when I looked at my account, some money was there, and I didn't have to go out and grind for it. right? The money was working for me. Okay, that's why it's so important is to make sure that you have your account so that there's something is working for you just as hard as you are working for it. And I say this all the time. This is so important. And so with me able to do that, I was able to still have something coming in every month during these last couple of months, starting from June, right? June, July, August, three months, and some parts of September. And September, I am just now getting into a flow. I really am. I am just now getting to a flow. So June, July, August, September, October, December. Okay, now I'm literally getting into a flow of now making sure I'm more consistent on my YouTube channel and all my other social media, looking back and meeting with my clients to see where they are, to schedule some time with them to do year-end reviews to make sure their portfolios are good, getting new clients as well as new team members, because to be honest with you, I couldn't hire anybody right now because I want to say hire, but recruit. Because just the fact that I could not coach them properly, and I hate to leave people by the wayside as well. I just couldn't effectively do what I needed to do so people can be successful. And so now getting back into the swing of things, there's still some challenges here and there, but I'm at a point where now I'm so laser focused because now there are so many things that needs to be done, that needs to be in place and changed, and that my schedule, my time has to be so intentional in what I'm doing. And so I want to encourage you that if you are experiencing a season of loss, or maybe you're experiencing a season of a financial challenge, and you're just like, I don't know if I can make it through it, I don't know if I can save or invest, I don't even know where to begin. Listen, you can, you will, and you must. Because I've experienced all of that really and truly. And I am still going through, but I'm going through in such a way that I'm making sure that I don't stay there, don't get depressed and downtrodden and think like, woe is me, I'm all alone. The world is coming to an end, because that's when you are defeated. That is when you fail, because then you've stopped. So failure only happens when you stop. But when you continue to press forward, despite how things may be, despite how you may feel, right? Cry, groan, whatever you must do, but get up, brush yourself off, wipe your tears, wipe your snot, whatever you got to do, and keep it moving. To keep it moving. So I want to encourage you. That's what I did in order to quit my 9-to-5 so I can have the freedom to be a homeschool mom, to be an entrepreneur, to be to travel a little bit more, right? So getting into the groove of that and just be able to take care of my mom, which I'm blessed and honored to do that. She lives with me, so we're going back and forth with the ministry, and I'm thankful for that. I really and truly am thankful for that, right? As we just go through this next season. So I pray that your season, your challenge, that you are laser focused, that you have a plan in place, and that you work the plan. You understand? Laser focus, have a plan in place, and work the plan. Those are the 3 things that I did that you need to do in order to quit your 9-to-5. And if you want a little bit more detail, you can see my link below, so you can book an appointment with me. I do offer a complimentary 15 minutes, right, to see where you are and how I can assist you, because at the end of the day, right, it's not really how much you make, it's how much you keep. But if you don't know how to keep it properly, then you'll still have to keep grinding day in and day out. And I'm sure God desires more for you and your family. He really, really does. He really does. And truly live the life that you desire to live. So go ahead, click on the link. I'm glad you stayed all the way to the end. And what I also want you to do, if you haven't done so, right, go ahead, like and subscribe and share this video. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Oh, and by the way, too, you can also see my link, Life Financial Life Financial Resilient, right? You can download a complimentary checklist on just how to be able to navigate different seasons of your life, right? So you can maintain your resilience despite challenges. All right, my fellows peeps. So like I always say, remember to pray, plan, and believe, because God is still in the business of doing miracles. Make it a great day. Bye, fabulous.